The series Then Dong Dat Viet has become a part of childhood memory to thousands of Vietnamese, especially during the 2000s. However, the journey to find justice for the series in the dispute between author Le Lin and Phan Thi Company lasting for more than a decade has sparked controversy about copyright. In order to help you grasp the knowledge, we are here today to discuss the ownership of copyright in works created by an employee. Let's begin with the definition of copyright. So what is copyright? Copyright, or author's right, is a legal term used to describe the rights that creators have over their literary and artistic works. Copyright law gives the author of a work a bundle of exclusive rights over his work for a limited period of time.
There are three basic requirements for copyright protection. That which is to be protected must have originality, fixation, and not be prejudicial to the copyright in original works. Copyright has three characteristics: automatic, originality, fixation. Automatic means that copyright shall subsist automatically without registration. Originality means that a work is created directly by authors through their intellectual labor and without copying the works of others. Besides, the ideas in the work do not need to be new, but the form, be it literary or artistic, must be an original creation of the author. Fixation means that it must be created and expressed in a tangible given form in which it can be perceived, reproduced, or otherwise communicated. For example, a song can be fixed by writing it down on a piece of paper. The very important thing to bear in mind here is that copyright protects form of expression, not ideas. Now we've got to learn the concept of copyright, but what is protected under the law of copyright? Copyright subject matters include every production in the literary, scientific, and artistic domain, whatever may be the mode or form of its expression. Moreover, copyright usually protects not only works in printed form but also in electronic or digital form. Works are protected irrespective of the fact that they are made available on computer diskettes, hard drives, CD-ROMs, VCDs, DVDs, or whether they are transmitted by radio stations, television stations, or downloaded via the internet. On the other end of the spectrum, copyright does not apply for ideas, facts, useful articles, official government works, names, titles, slogans, and other short phrases due to their limited possibility to valid the ownership. Before exploring deeper into the legal rights of copyrights, we will clarify the two terms, which are quite confusing when being compared: author and owner. In fact, the author of a work is the person who created the work. If the work was created by more than one person, then all the creators are considered as co-authors or joint authors. A person who merely contributes ideas, information, or suggestions and who does not contribute to the expression of the work is not an author. This means that even if you come up with an idea for an artwork, for example, you will not be considered as the author if you did not actually create the artwork. The issue of authorship is especially relevant in connection with moral rights, which include the right to be named as the author of the work and the right to protect the integrity of the work. On the other hand, copyright ownership is a different issue. The owner of the copyright in a work is the person who has the exclusive rights to exploit the work, for example, to use, copy, sell, and make derivative works. Owners will be granted economic rights. Economic rights give the owner of copyright the exclusive rights to authorize or prohibit certain uses of a work. In some countries, if a work was created by an employee within the scope of his/her employment, then the employer automatically owns the copyright, unless otherwise agreed, and vice versa. However, in some other countries, the transfer of rights to the employer may not be automatic and or may have to be specified in the employment contract even this work is within scope of his/her employment. It is a good practice, as a precautionary measure, to have employees sign a written agreement that clearly addresses all the relevant copyright issues before commencement of any work. In Vietnam, according to Article 20 and Article 39 Chap 2 in Vietnamese Intellectual Property Law 2005, a person who has assigned tasks of creating artistic work to his/her employee is the copyright owner of that work if there are no other agreements. Finally, let's explore the dispute case of Then Dong Dat Viet between author Le Lin and Phan Thi Company that we've mentioned at the beginning of the video. In 2001, artist Le Lin started working at Phan Thi Company and was assigned to create the comic series Then Dong Dat Vietnam. The copyright dispute occurred after episode 78 when Le Lin stopped collaborating with Phan Thi, but then Phan Thi hired another artist to use the image of the characters in the previous TDV to continue publishing the series from volume 79 onwards without Le Lin's consent. In April 2007, painter Le Lin officially sued Phan Thi Company, and the dispute lasted 12 years until 2019. Based on the provisions of Articles 6 and 13 of the Intellectual Property Law, the court found that besides Mr. Le Lin, there was no one else involved in the creation of the work TDV. Therefore, the series has only one author, that is painter Le Lin, without any co-authors. Le Lin has both moral and economic rights to Then Dong Dat Viet. Phan Thi is recognized as the copyright owner, thus has the right to make derivative works under Article 39 of the Intellectual Property Law. However, according to provisions of Decree 22/2018/NDCP, Fonte's act of repairing and mutilating character images, creating different drawings compared to the original expression registered by Le Lin is an act of self-correction of the work, without the consent of the author. To sum up, all economic rights and part of moral rights are transferred to the employer if the employee's work is created within his scope of work, yet those who have ownership of copyright are not obliged to violate moral rights of the author.